Welcome back to our channel. Today, in quiet reverence, we remember the talented artists who left us too soon, some only just days ago. From the icons of Hollywood to rising stars, they each brought light to the world of entertainment until they passed away suddenly. If you feel moved by their stories, we invite you to leave a like as a silent tribute in their memory. Thank you. Now, let us begin.
He didn't usually have writers in the control room, but...
Alan Bergman, the legendary Oscar-winning lyricist best known for timeless classics like The Way We Were and The Windmills of Your Mind, has passed away at 99. He died peacefully of natural causes at his Los Angeles home on Thursday night, surrounded by love. For over 5 decades, Alan and his wife Marilyn formed one of Hollywood's most cherished songwriting duos. Their lyrics graced voices like Barbra Streisand, Frank Sinatra, and Neil Diamond. Together, they earned 3 Academy Awards, including for Yentl and The Thomas Crown Affair, along with 16 Oscar nominations, a Grammy, and 3 Emmys, a testament to their enduring artistry. Tragically, Marilyn's death in 2022 marked a profound turning point. Yet Alan, with quiet strength, continued creating. He honored their shared legacy by recording, lyrically, Alan Bergman, offering the world his voice at last. His legacy lives on in the unforgettable melodies woven through American cinema. In every line he penned, Alan gave us memory, emotion, and meaning, a profound gift that will echo for generations.
Someone asked me last week what my greatest achievement was. My greatest achievement was that I survived.
Connie Francis, the beloved pop icon whose voice once defined a generation, has passed away at 87. She died after a period of serious illness, following hospitalization in early July due to intense pain. Her longtime friend and publicist, Ron Roberts, confirmed her passing. Born Conchetta Franco-Nero, she captured America's heart with timeless hits like Who's Sorry Now, Lipstick on Your Collar, Pretty Little Baby, and Don't Break the Heart That Loves You. She also charmed audiences on screen in 1960s, films like Where the Boys Are and Looking for Love. But behind the spotlight lay a decade of personal tragedy. In 1974, Connie endured a traumatic assault after a concert that led her into deep depression. A surgery in 1977 left her temporarily without her singing voice. In 1981, she faced one of her deepest losses when her beloved brother's life was tragically taken in an act of violence, a wound that never fully healed. Still, she pressed on. With quiet strength, she rebuilt her voice, shared her story in her memoir, Who's Sorry Now, and spoke candidly with Oprah about both pain and perseverance. Even while managing bipolar disorder, she continued reaching out to those who loved her. In recent years, she embraced new generations. Her 1962 recording, Pretty Little Baby, found new life on TikTok, and she responded with warmth. First time I've lip-synced to this 63-year-old recording of mine.
I have sinned against you, my Lord, and I would ask that your precious blood...
Jimmy Swaggart, the iconic televangelist and gospel singer who brought faith into millions of homes across America, has died at 90. He passed away after suffering cardiac arrest in June, surrounded by loved ones and fellow believers. Beginning his ministry in 1955, Swaggart helped transform religious broadcasting, launching Jimmy Swaggart Telecast in 1973. He would go on to sell over 17 million gospel albums, publish more than 100 books, including the Expositor's Study Bible, and build Sun Life radio and broadcasting networks. This fall, he was set to be inducted into the Southern Gospel Music Hall of Fame. Tragically, Swaggart's rise was interrupted by public scandals in 1988 and 1991. leading to his removal from church leadership and a sharp decline in public support. Yet, with quiet humility, he returned to preaching, singing, and writing, never seeking sympathy, only grace. He continued ministering into his late 80s. In his final public moment at the piano, his voice rang clear. If you're longing for a friend, loving and true, turn to Jesus. He waits for you. Jimmy Swaggart leaves behind a complex but enduring legacy of redemption, resilience, and relentless faith. Wayne Lewis, the founding voice and guiding soul behind the legendary R&B group Atlantic Starr, has passed away at 68. He died on June 5, 2025, with the news confirmed by the group's official page. A cause of death was not disclosed. As the lead vocalist, songwriter, and creative force, Wayne helped shape the sound that defined an era. With timeless ballads like Always and Secret Lovers, he gave voice to love's quiet truths. Fans hailed him as a great songwriter, one whose music became the backdrop of countless lives. Over a career spanning more than 4 decades, Wayne remained loyal to his craft and audience. Unlike many, he chose the stage over the spotlight. Even in 2023, he was still performing, most recently at an Evening of Soul in Georgia. His voice, steady and soulful, still carrying the weight of memory and meaning. Wayne Lewis leaves behind more than melodies. He leaves a legacy of grace, consistency, and deep musical honesty, a quiet light that never stopped shining.
Television, there is no time for that. There is not time to seduce an audience. You have to really, for instance, since the television set might be in the living room.
Lalo Schifrin, the legendary composer whose Mission Impossible theme became one of the most iconic sounds in television history, has passed away at 93. He died in Los Angeles of pneumonia, as confirmed by his son. Born in Argentina, Schifrin blended classical training with a love for jazz, creating unforgettable scores for over 100 films and shows, including Bullitt, Starsky and Hutch, Dirty Harry, Mannix, and Bruce Lee's Enter the Dragon, for which Lee personally taught him martial arts out of admiration. With 6 Oscar nominations and 4 Grammy wins, Schifrin's genius was recognized across decades. He served as music director for the Paris Philharmonic, received the BMI Lifetime Achievement Award, and, in 2018, was honored with an Academy Honorary Award. Though fame never distracted him, his voice shaped generations. His Jazz Meets the Symphony albums bridged worlds, and even at 93 he completed a final piece for Argentina, his homeland. Lalo Schifrin leaves behind more than soundtracks. He leaves a timeless signature of rhythm, culture, and cinematic soul, a maestro to the very end. Rebekah Del Rio, the haunting voice behind Lorando in David Lynch's Mulholland Drive, has passed away at 57. She died at her Los Angeles home on June 23rd, as confirmed by the coroner's office. She left a permanent mark on cinema with her heart-wrenching performance at Club Silencio, a moment so raw, Lynch used the original recording from their first meeting. Later, she returned in Twin Peaks, The Return with No Stars, drawn from a Lynch poem. Her voice graced films like Sin City, Man on Fire, and Streets of Legend. She released Love Hurts, Love Heals, 2011, and singles Hallelujah and Adios, 2021, all steeped in sorrow and healing. In 2009, she lost her only son to cancer, a quiet tragedy that forever colored her music. "I have to create real vibrato in my throat," she once said, "so the audience can see the pain." Just 2 weeks before her passing, she sang at a charity screening of Mulholland Drive. a final gift of grace. Rebekah Del Rio leaves behind a legacy of truth in music and a voice that mourned, healed, and soared.
Until the last time, and I think if I'd done it 4, it would have been perfect. You think so?
Breaking news. Cher, a journey through stardom, family turmoil, and unbreakable spirit. Where is she now? From the dazzling spotlight of the stage to the silence of personal heartbreak, Cher has lived a life of extraordinary contrast. She is more than a pop icon. She is a survivor, a mother, a fighter. And now, as she nears her 80th birthday, her story continues to inspire. This is not just a tale of music or fame. It is a story of reinvention, resilience, and the unyielding power of love. What has Cher meant to you? Did her voice once carry you through a difficult time? Did her strength help you find your own? We invite you to share your memory in the comments. Your voice matters. Cher was born Sherilyn Sarkeesian in 1946 in El Centro, California. Her childhood was marked by instability and poverty. Her father struggled with addiction and left the family when she was just a baby. Her mother, a part-time actress, did everything she could to keep them afloat, even placing Cher in an orphanage when times grew desperate. Cher also battled undiagnosed dyslexia, making school a daily struggle. But even then, there was something in her, a certainty that she was meant for more. She first rose to fame in the 1960s alongside Sonny Bono. Their duet, I Got You Babe, became an anthem for a generation. But it wasn't long before Cher stepped out of Sonny's shadow. Her solo career took flight with bold, emotional songs like Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves, Half-Breed, and Dark Lady. She gave voice to the marginalized. She turned pain into art. In the 1980s, just when critics thought she was fading, Cher made a dramatic comeback. If I Could Turn Back Time reintroduced her to the world. Then, in 1998, she changed the face of pop music with Believe. With it, she pioneered the use of auto-tune as an expressive tool. The effect became known simply as the Cher effect. But her career was only one part of her journey. Behind the scenes, Cher faced deep and lasting heartache. Her first marriage to Sonny Bono ended in betrayal. Her second, to Greg Allman, was marred by addiction and instability. Though they had a son, Elijah Blue Allman, their family was never whole for long. Her relationship with her children became even more complicated in recent years. In 2023, Cher made headlines not for music, but for filing for temporary conservatorship over Elijah, whose long battle with substance abuse had escalated. Doctors warned he was near death. The case was eventually dropped, but the emotional toll was enormous. Cher's relationship with her elder son, Chaz Bono, was also strained, not over addiction, but over her controversial relationship with Alexander A.E. Edwards, a man 40 years her junior. This was a breaking point. Cher was caught between public scrutiny and private despair. Friends grew worried. The emotional weight, the media attention, the isolation, it began to take a toll on her physical health. Reports surfaced that her heart was weakening under stress. For a woman known for her strength, it was a quiet crisis. But Cher did not crumble. She responded with grace, not fury. She chose to let go of the legal fight for Elijah, turning instead to empathy and hope. She stood by her partner despite backlash, and she embraced Chaz with the open arms of a mother who had learned, sometimes painfully, that love must evolve. Her support for Chaz, who publicly came out as transgender in 2009, became one of her most powerful statements. At first, Cher struggled to understand, but she listened, she learned, and eventually, she led. She became a symbol for other parents navigating similar journeys. Her honesty helped others find courage. her acceptance became an act of love that rippled across the world. In 2024, Cher received long overdue recognition with her induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. She took the stage once again, performing Believe alongside Dua Lipa. It was not just a performance, it was a victory lap. For every reinvention, every fight, every chapter that brought her to that moment. But Cher's legacy is not confined to music. It stretches far beyond. She has quietly led humanitarian efforts for decades, from rescuing animals from captivity to supporting children with craniofacial differences to funding schools in Africa. During the COVID-19 pandemic, she launched Cher Cares, delivering aid to underserved communities. She has supported American veterans, raised awareness for AIDS research, and used her platform to fight for justice. What makes Cher remarkable is not that she succeeded. It is that she kept succeeding after being counted out, over and over again. She has been underestimated, mocked, and dismissed. But she has never stopped showing up, never stopped reinventing herself, and never stopped believing. As she approaches her 80s, Cher continues to perform, to speak, to love without apology. Her voice, deep and unmistakable, still echoes across generations. Her story reminds us that no hardship is final, no label is permanent, and no heart is beyond repair. So now we ask you, what did Cher give you? A song that healed you? A story that lifted you? A moment that made you feel seen? Share your memory. Leave a comment. Because Cher's story does not end with awards or applause. It lives in all of us who, like her, refuse to disappear. Cher is not just a name. She is an idea that it is never too late to begin again.